So I've been asked, I can't tell you how many times, Pete, what's your favorite Ventrac attachment? Well, I don't think I have a favorite, but I do have ones that I like better than the other. And I think what I'll do this winter is I'll do you a Pete's top 5 Ventrac attachments, and we'll do that over the winter, and I'll kind of go through each of the 5 and explain why I like that particular one or why it's in my top 5. This bad boy is definitely in my top 5. This right here is a soil cultivator, and I use it for several different things. And what this is basically is a rototiller. You can see down in this little crack right here, all your tines are down in there, big teeth that just kind of roll the ground over. And then it's a little bit more than just a rototiller. You can see this black plate right here, that's adjustable, and that acts as a leveler. So you till and you've got loose ground, and that black plate levels that loose ground. And then this wire basket right here does 2 things. It kind of leaves a nice butter finish. So like if you're doing seed bed preparation, it leaves a nice finish for that. And it also controls the depth. You can see this hydraulic cylinder right here. That makes that drum go up and down, and whether it's up or down, that determines how deep the tiller goes in the ground. Obviously, seed bed preparation is probably going to be the main thing this would be used for. I could also see it being used for places you need to dig down a certain depth and leave the hard pan underneath and then scoop out the loose material, kind of like putting a sidewalk in, maybe something along those lines. If you wanted to leave your hard pan down below, say 4 inches below, you would just rototill the top 4 inches. All that material would be loose, and you scoop it out, and then you got your hard pan underneath. Today, I'm using it as like a stone barrier. There's implements that go on a tractor called a stone barrier, and basically where you would go across a field, and it would roll over the ground and bury anything that's on top of the ground. This is an infield renovation I did back in the winter, and as you can see, they've gotten a little bit behind on spraying their weeds in the skin here. So by running over this with the soil cultivator, it is going to turn all this material under and bury it. Of course, it'll die and just rot in the ground. Another thing I'm doing is this particular coach was a little unsatisfied with the color of the material I brought in. See how it's more of a sandy type color? So under this, the material is a little more brownish red. So by going in here and rototilling and turning this over, I'm hoping to pull the red material up, and it will kind of change the color of the entire infield skin. So really I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone right here. One, I'm hoping to change the color of the infield skin by rotating the ground, flipping the pre-existing clay and putting it on top of the stuff I brought in. And number 2, burying all this weed material so I can take my ABI force and grade it out and get it game ready. And that's a considerable difference. I mean considerable. And talk about a seed bed prep. Look at that right there, how loose that is, but it's still got a little firmness. when you plant grass seed, you don't want your grass seed in a super loose dirt. You've got to have some firmness to it. Yes, you want the top of it loose and airy and busted up best you can, but at the end of the day, you got to have some firmness when you're doing grass seed, because if you were to plant grass seed in a freshly rototilled piece of ground, you start watering, when you walk on it, you're going to leave deep footprints in it everywhere. When you start mowing it, you're going to track it up and rut it up some kind of bad. So I always remember that when you're planting grass seed. It's just the seed bed is crucial to get right and to loosen it up, but you still want some firmness on the top so that when you walk, you can see even right there, that might be a touch too loose. Look at that, see how it left that little bit of a footprint? You don't want that planting grass. But for this, it ain't a big deal because I'm gonna grade it. The box blade and the broom on the ABI, it will compact it back down. And then of course, I've got my roller on the back of the Ventrac. The ABI's got a roller that goes under the belly. I just didn't have room on my trailer for all of that. So that's another cool point to bring up about Ventrac, is I got my attachment on the front and I can haul a second attachment in the back, which is super cool. This right here give you a good look at the grinding teeth up under there. Those things are nasty. And so as it's turning, it's throwing material up against this cage right here. Well, the cage is what keeps the material going back into the pile to where it's tilling it, and that's what's actually burying it. If this right here wasn't here, it would kind of leave the material laying on top. But that kind of acts as a gate or a stop, so that as it's rotating, it throws rocks or debris or weeds or whatever, and it hits the inside of this and they go right back down, so they get ground up and rolled back down into the dirt again. So that looks quite a bit better. The color, it kind of changed it a little bit. Biggest thing to help with the color, that keeps some moisture on it, and obviously it'll have that dark rich color to it. As far as all those weeds go, you can see they pretty much disappeared as I was using the force and grading. Some of that kind of worked its way back up to the top, but smoking hot, middle of summer. That weed material is dead right now, so as it just lays right there on the top, it'll rot and go away and it'll be done. They're not actually using the field in the middle of the summer, so it don't hurt it one bit for it to just lay there and rot and go away on its own. But it is a night and day difference, and could not have done that without my soil cultivator. That thing is just bad to the bone as far as rotating the ground and flipping it over and burying stuff. So tickled to death that I got one, and can't wait till the fall of the year. Got some renovation work coming up, and I'll definitely be using that on different jobs. So hey, as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.